Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jenny Chess and welcome back to One Year 365. Today we will be talking about my childhood game developers that made me create games basically. So yeah, that's quite something about topic, quite specific. But yeah, today we actually talk about these developers. There were I collect two of them. Like I did like two searches. Oh, I need to reload the page again. Okay, so um, the first one will be Game House, and then the second will be PopCap Games, right? Because these two developers over here, like these two, I would say like maybe small developers, when the first time they appeared, right? I believe it's only like only few people that created this, and then they then got developed into bigger name, right? So yeah, there you go. um, I really love these game house games as well as PopCap games as well because it is quite fun, right? I got the game from my neighbor. I think I kind of mentioned this as well in the other like about I don't know like about 60 days ago or almost 2 months ago, basically, where I talk about a game about ball, I think, and yeah. So there you go. There's also my friend as well that has the CD, I think, like the yeah, like a CD full of the games, right? And you can just install those games in your computer as well. But yeah, um, there are actually a lot of games here, right? Because it is now actually, I believe, Game House itself is now kinda um like a website, I think. Of course it's always been a website, right? But you can actually play many games at the price of monthly subscription, I think. So they're no longer like selling games individually, but they're more like like if you want to play I mean, yeah, if you want to play, just pay subscription, like monthly subscription. I think it's only like $10. I think it's mentioned here, and then you can play all of their catalogs of games, right? But yeah, so Gamehouse is a casual game developer, publisher, digital video game distributor, and portal based in Seattle, Washington, United States. Division of Real Networks. I think it's now, right? Because back then it was only itself. And yeah, I actually already read this page, therefore that's why I kind of know, right? And it's founded 24 years ago, which is 98. That's just 2 years after my birthday, right? Founders will be those names over there, Ben and Gar. And then the HQ is in Seattle, Washington, United States. Services online and offline, video game development, publication, and distribution. Back then it was only offline video game, right? Although you kind of like can download the game, I believe, from. Okay, so I think what it work is that you download the game from the website, and then there will be like a trial, right? Like a short time trial, and then once it runs out, then you can purchase the license, right, for the full game basically. Um and yeah, my friend has the games and the license as well. That's why I just yeah, basically I got it from my friend. And then there's this one, the website still the same, gamehouse.com. I believe it's always been that website since the beginning, I believe as well. um yeah, 2300 online downloadable games. That's just crazy, right? Insane. Like, like nowadays it got out. I think out. What is it, like outplayed or out popularized by, obviously, right? If you have Android, then it will be Play Store, right? And if it is like iOS, then it will be your App Store, right? But it's different. Yeah, of course it's different. Like Gamehouse is its own developers, right? And then there are so many games. Well, in Play Store and App Store, it's like multiple developers, right, uploading their games. But what I'm trying to say is that like basically both of them share the similar thing, which is a catalog of games, right, where you can download and then play it by yourself, right? Whether or not you want to like purchase in-game in-game purchases, or buy the game and you can just play the game for like for the whole thing, right? But yeah, history. Okay, it's founded in 1998. The first downloadable, Collapse. Oh yeah, I actually remember Collapse. Collapse is actually a game where if there will be a lots of squares, right? And then the squares has colors. I believe it's like blue, red, yellow, green, and in like later stage, I believe like gray as well, white again, I think. And then there's orange as well, like purple, and make it more interesting, right? But what does the game do is basically like you only have a certain amount of clicks, right? And then each time you click, it will delete the square and the surrounding square with similar colors, basically. That you click, right? So for instance, I click a square, square color, then all the squares that are adjacently connected to each other, it will get collapsed, basically, right? And then like the blocks will fall down, and yeah, just like that, basically. It's actually quite fun game. I played that. I remember exactly what it's supposed to do, right? um, Okay, in 2003, company revenues topped $10 million. That's actually a lot of money. Uh, Considering that back then, money back then and money now is different, right? Like $10 million in 2003. That's like, I don't know, like today's. Okay, so I'm gonna project or extrapolate by the price of gasoline, right? Back then, gasoline was in my country. It was 1 cent, I think, per liter. So yeah, and today it is like almost, I don't know, like 7 cents, I guess. So that's like seven times, right? No, not seven times, but more like 4 to 5 times more, right? So basically, according to that, the price of gas in my country, $10 million in 2003 is worth about $50 million, like nowadays, which is a lot of money, right? Um, so yeah, and although the net is only 55.5, I mean half of it, but it's still a lot, right? Times that by five, that's like $25 million. That's actually great, right? In 2004, acquired by Real Networks for 14.6 million cash, and about, okay, that's just the shares, right? After acquisition, the studio continued operation as developer, okay, but the games got distributed by Real Network. Oh, I see. Okay, so they basically buy, I think, the company, and then yeah, like basically they only has the job to create games, while the one that's in charge for selling and like distributing will be Real Networks, right? um like back then, obviously it's still, back then it still continued to grow, right? Obviously, until I believe like top of this, the top of this is probably like 2009 2010 era, probably. Like that's like the transition, right, between offline PC games to starting to online games, right? Like MMORPG, basically, because you remember Warcraft, right? It was like around that time as well, right? So like when these big games kick in, all these mini games, like this offline PC games developer, I think they got out, what is it, like outperformed, right? Because people want something new, which is because internet starts to spreading as well, right? Because playing offline games, that's just you playing by yourself, right? You can feel, a little bit lonely, right? Or you can invite your friends to come, to come into your house and play with you, right? um But I think because of internet, then people start to realize that, oh, we can actually connect to people virtually, like, and it's from other faraway place as well, right? Especially when my neighbor, like, they went to college and we got separated, right? Maybe that's what people think, and they found that there is RPG games starts to popping out, and then smartphones as well, starting 2000, and I don't know, like 2011, 12, I think it starts to like transition, right, from the your casual like QWERTY into touch screen, right, full touch screen. So there's that, basically, like there is a transition, right, there's a shift. It shifted from basically, I would say, like um I don't know, like console games. Well, not really console, because you can also you play that in PC as well, but more like offline games to online games, right? And then smartphone kick in, then there is like all these other games got inserted into Play Store or App Store or whatever, right? And this kind of developer kind of got shadowed between that, right? I don't know if this company still runs, like as of now. Maybe I should check. Probably, like, I don't know, like the social media. Probably there is. Maybe they have like some kind of Twitter or Instagram. I'm not sure, right? Okay, let's now take a look at PopCap Games as well, because this is also similar thing, right? Yeah, it's also in Seattle, Washington as well. So I guess it's like their competitor or something like that. When, yeah, I think there is like a period where people making this, and then other people, trying to copy this stuff as well. So they do it, with their self, right? And they do it themselves and produce even more similar thing, right? Like, it's basically what is trending. What was trending back then, right? Like it's just like today. Like when you found any trending video on TikTok, then people start to make their own version of that, right? But the same as just like other trending, it will come to an end, right? And it will get out trended by something else, right? People got bored and they move to something else, right? I think this is what happened as well. Like I said about the transition, right? So for PopCap, I remember the games, yeah, Plants vs Zombies as well as Bejeweled. Um, Bejeweled is basically the match three games. It's like the mother of match three games. Like, um, like if you look at any other games on Play Store, they're basically match 3, right? And then, oh, it's just Bejeweled game. So you refer match 3 with Bejeweled game, basically. So it's like there's like, what is it, like there's a cultural thing, right, which is great, always great, because you'll always be remembered, right? um then Plants vs Zombie, which we really love, right, as a kid, probably like most of you also like Plants vs Zombie. Although it's then it got very bad, right, because Plants vs Zombies 2, you know what happened, right? They start added these in-app purchases, where the game become a little bit unbalanced if you don't spend any money, right? The game gets too hard, and basically it's just like money milking machine, right? And then they also added like after that there's like Plant vs Zombies Hero as well. um like Plant vs Zombie Heroes is basically more like card games, like deck building as well. So yeah, it's also like pay to win, basically. And then after that, like, because of Plant vs Zombie 2 and Plant vs Zombies Hero as well, they made another Plant vs Zombie, which is the third one, right? And then people just basically, like people were upset, right, about the game, because Plant vs Zombie 3 was, it's just like another milking, money milking games, right? It's basically heavily pay to win. It's even worse than Plant vs Zombie 2 and Plant vs Zombie Hero, I think. So yeah, although there is also the PC one, I think, the Garden Warfare, if I remember correctly, but I never actually played that, so I don't know, right? And then there is Bookworm as well. Oh, I remember Bookworm. So Bookworm is basically, it's about English. So you want to basically there is a scrambled letters, right, in the screen, and then you connect the letter adjacent or touching diagonally, and you form any words, right? The longer the words, then you will deal more damage to the boss, right? And it's actually quite interesting as well. I actually played this one, the Bookworm, back in 2009, I believe, the same time as Plant vs Zombie as well, because again, like, my friend had the game, right? So I played it on his laptop. Basically, it was my middle school era as well. So yeah, just first class of middle school, everyone brings laptop, everyone played games, right? So I as well as play that as well, right? Because of them. And yeah, it's actually quite interesting as well, because these games are the one that we remembered, right? And then over here there is the list of games, I guess, from the PopCap games. I cannot find the one that's from Game House, but like, I cannot find any Wikipedia page about Gamehouse games, therefore I only found these pop-up games, right? List of games, Bejeweled Classic, and then Zumas as well. Oh, this is for the phone, right? So the first one is always Bejeweled, right? And then Zuma as well. Zuma's Revenge is like the second game of Zuma, I believe. I actually played Zuma. I actually um try to speedrun this as well. In 2017, I actually finished the entire game within 4 hours, if I remember correctly. Like, it's 3 hours and 40 something minutes, I believe. I still have the picture as well. Like, maybe I can show that, and maybe like, if we have better like, equipment, maybe I will redo the speedrun of Zuma as well, right? And then yeah, Bejeweled, Plants vs. 2. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that they have these successful games, right? So they try to make a sequel, I guess, about the original games, and obviously, just like any other games, and movies in general, usually sequels are not as great as the first one, right? So maybe I would say that every iteration of this game got introduced, I believe the player base got decreased, right? Like, over time generally, right? Because they kind of already know what's it about, and like, basically the one that holds the memory is the first one, right? So yeah, there's that. Yeah, this one, Plant vs Zombie 3. I think it's already out, but somehow it got retracted, and yeah, it becomes to be announced again, right? Maybe they kind of reshuffle the game again. I'm not entirely sure, but as for now, I believe it's not available. In 2020, it was available, right? I saw lots of YouTubers playing that. I think I tried myself as well, but like, it's just basically the same as the second one, but it's more heavily pay to win as well. So there's that anyway. Um, Developed and or published. Okay, so this is all the games, right? Okay. Feeding Frenzy, yeah, I remember Feeding Frenzy as well. I actually played this in my neighbor's house, because yeah, he had PC, right? So I played there and played Feeding Frenzy basically. And then, oh yeah, Insane Aquarium as well. This is just the same, right? Insane Aquarium is actually, I would say, the best fish game, I would say, because of like, yeah, it's just great, right? It's like fish simulator, right? And then you kill monsters as well. Mummy Maze, I remember this from my friend. I visited my friend's house, I think, and played this in his PC as well. It's a lot of fun. Basically, Mummy Maze is, you try to escape from Mummy, right? But every time you make a step, the Mummy will come closer to you by one or two tiles, right? So you need to, it's basically a puzzle game, because there's only one correct way, I believe, for each level. So yeah, there's that. You can basically just try any combination and you will be good to go, right? And then what else? Plant vs Zombie, yeah, it's just all of these, right? The Garden Warfare, I think it's quite popular. The first one, the second one, I'm not sure. And then PVZ 2 is the one where people start to realize that um, yeah, it is like nostalgia, but it becomes a cash grab, right? And then the zombie heroes as well. It's basically deck building. Mm, and then the third one, which is complete disaster, right? I think. Pizza Frenzy, I also played this as well with my friend. What else? Zuma, yeah, Zuma. Zuma is just very great, right? It's like like the frog throwing balls, and then if it's match three, then it will disappear, right? So yeah, basically everything was kind of match three, I guess, because that's like probably the easiest thing, one of the easier things to what is it, program, right? Like the codes and stuff like that. So yeah. There's also all of these, I guess. Upcoming or rumored, okay. Bejeweled 4, obviously, because why not, right? Charizard 3, Peggle 3, I don't know anything about this. Um, okay, and the Plant vs. Zombies, another PvZ games, I guess. Garden Warfare 3, don't know if that will be a great idea, I'm not sure. Maybe they will make it like Fortnite type of game, probably, right? Like, last the last to survive, right? Basically. And then Zuma 3, I guess you can probably, I don't know, cancelled or discontinued. Okay, so this is all the cancelled one as well. um okay, oh, okay, so basically this is all the alternate or the early version of the game, right? So like this one, Bloom and Doom, it's then supposed to be Plants vs Zombies, right? I guess like this is the alpha, right? The alpha stage, and then yeah, like Circle Shoot, it's a beta version of Zuma. So, like maybe this is the trial version, right? And then it got polished into the final game that we know as of now, right? Yeah, like Lawn of the Dead is beta version of Plant vs Zombie, and then yeah, and so on and so on, I guess. So yeah, basically those or these are game developers, I guess. Oh, I already talked actually a little bit too much, but yeah, I think I need to wrap up this as quickly like as soon as possible now. But yeah, these are all the developers. I believe there's much more else, other developers as well, but as of time I'm researching this, the one that I remember is just Gamehouse and PopCap Games. uh yeah, like I said as well, maybe there's a lot of other developers, right? But this is basically the games that made me accompany me since the year probably 2004 until 2009, basically. Yeah, basically my elementary school period. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow with another discussion. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you again very soon. And also, by the way, the previous one I ended up um because I dropped my phone and the phone stopped the recording. That's why it got cut weirdly towards the end, right? And I didn't say the outro. But yeah, until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you again tomorrow, and see ya.